They tryna turn Trenton into Baby Flint. Been signs by depression on the billboards ever since. 100 years ago we was lynched. Now they use germ warfare to kill us. I'm convinced, got the evidence. I look around and it's evident. Then go down to City Hall and see so much negligence. Real art is intelligent. A true artist sends messages that speak to your intelligence. They fought and died so I can do my thing. Not to get drunk and high or join no gang. I will not let none of you die in vain. For my people I bang, bang, bang. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. They say post-traumatic slavery disorder's fake, but I just tell them all to wake up. Everything we went through, what a way down a rape, bro. Isn't all genetic makeup. So I am my ancestors from block to block. Let's build like it's Tetris. We must unite, link up like a necklace. They fought and died and we disrespected. So I come to correct it. The legacy they left I protected. We only think about self and neglected. You're African but yet you rejected. No, my ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. My ancestors been through so much pain. I don't let them die in vain. I rep for you in everything I do. I rep for you in every place I go. I rep for you in everything I do. In every place I go. I do. I go.
Welcome back.
So dignity.
Bloopers. Happy Friday. Whoa. What is that? Whoa. Bloopers.
Let me do it. Welcome back. You're tuned into New Exchange. No. You don't get a do-over. Now, go ahead. Get your do-over. Go ahead.
Welcome back to another edition of New Freedom Exchange, your cultural expression for social dignity and community empowerment. I'm your co-host, Brother Deen, here with...
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Marsha.
Wa alaikum wassalam. Imam Bilal here. New Freedom Exchange. Live Interact. Happy Friday. Juba Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak as well.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Happy to be here, New Freedom Exchange. And as always, we're streaming live here on Facebook and YouTube. So if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, please let us know where you're tuning in from so we can recognize you and honor you on the screen. As always, Sister Khadija is always here. First one here. Salams. Hello. Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak. She's always here. First one here. Appreciate you, sister. As always, appreciate you, sis.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a great day. It's a beautiful day outside. Friday. It was a little nippy yesterday.
Yeah, I'm about to say it was winter yesterday. It was winter yesterday, and now we done transformed back to spring. Alhamdulillah for that.
Yes. It was a little cold even for the beloved, myself included. You know, I had to put out my hoodie and my coat.
Yeah, but we missed the forecast, man. What was the forecast, man?
Wait. You can't. Now, don't come for Bilal when you just had your own little bloopers. Don't be trying to come for the Imam B.
Imam B. Gonna change our name. But how's everyone doing, though?
Doing really well. Like you said, today was a nice day outside, so it was a good change to yesterday. I'm a winter baby, so yesterday wasn't like all that horrendous for me, but just a transformation from like 70-degree weather down to like 40. That's enough to sort of shock anybody. But today was a good day. Just ran in here from work, and so got a lot going on always. But glad to be here. How about y'all?
She says she's a summer baby. I'm a
That's good.
spring baby.
She's a July baby. Khadijah's a July baby, and I'm
Hey,
the spring
July.
baby.
Okay.
Yeah, she's July. She's July 15th.
We turning up in July.
Yeah, we're
with
turning
our
up in July.
halal something.
Well, we do. We do. Yeah, halal something. Yeah, and
Barbecue.
You know,
We barbecuing for Khadijah's birthday. Put that in your calendar, sis.
Sister Fernandez, it says Assalamu alaikum Ramadan Mubarak. I want to know how to get the music with artists you open well fit. That's Shadi Aki. We'll put his Spotify. His music is on Spotify. We'll put his Spotify in the comment section. But his name is Shadi Aki, ShadiAkhi. But we'll put that in the comments. A couple of people.
And for the record, right before we come on the screen, like I'm in the background like this, bump into it, then I gotta like be conscious enough to stop when we jump on the screen. So yeah, that's my joint too.
Yeah, so shout out to Shadi Aki. So a couple of people have inquired actually as of recent about getting that music. So so shout out to Shadi Aki as well. But yes, Deen, go ahead. You were about to go in about your week.
About your day.
Yeah, about your
week.
day.
Oh yeah. It's good. People think because my B-Day coming up that I'm supposed to be off on Monday. I just want to put it out there, you know what I mean? But I probably
the Taurus
is your boss watching? Is your boss watching?
I don't know if she watching. Nah, but I'm still.
She'll get a piece of action.
Yeah.
He needs off on Monday, boss lady.
Right. But no, everything's good. Just came in from the shop. So it's called a buzzer beater for those of you who wasn't behind the scene, you know what I mean? But everything was good. We had a so I'm in the staffing industry, and so we try to get people to work. You know, some people are still I guess sensitive because of the COVID, but all of our jobs are practicing social distance like that. And so I mean, there's a lot of work out here for those who are looking for work. You know, we got work, and we also are collaborating. I know Bilal talks about on other platforms. Oh, when we have special guests on, our artists, we're looking to collaborate and stuff like that. So everything is just uppity up right now, and just happy to be on here today. How about you, Imam Bilal? Imam B, excuse me.
Imam B. Don't start.
Usually I call him B. Usually I just call him B, but I threw the Imam on there today. Either way, he's my guy.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Week is good. You know, what's been happening? A lot's been happening actually. You know, we stream Study Al-Islam every day. So, I mean, you know, we just have to manage that every morning. So that's been going good, alhamdulillah. This technical streaming. Got my car. My car is ready. It's registered. It's
road trip
inspection. Hold on, Aki. It's past registration.
Road trip.
Yeah, road trip. Yeah, past inspection, past registration. I had to get the key fob fixed, but that was good. I went to the brother out there, the guy out in Long Island, to fix the key fob, and we're pretty much ready to roll. Going to head up a sister to do the detailing. I'm gonna get an extensive cleaning. Okay, she's called the detailing goddess, actually, in Black-owned business.
Okay.
Detailing goddess. The detailing goddess. I mean, does good work. Yeah. So you're gonna see the before and after of the car. You know, so it's gonna look a little spliffy, trying to make it look nice. But what else has been popping off? Wow. Let me see. There's something else I wanted to say too. Kind of forgetting it. But alhamdulillah, everything else has been good so far. Can't complain. Everyone's healthy. I'm healthy. Everyone's healthy pretty much for the most part. You know, can't complain. Excited for today's show. We have a great guest with us, a good friend of mine, a very active sister in this community, young sister, by the way, in this community, and very excited for this episode because it's a very special episode. We haven't done much in the month of Ramadan. I mean, other than Study Al-Islam. So I'm glad that people are able to tune in and check us out for a special edition before iftar, because literally it'll be iftar on the East Coast in another couple of
less than an hour.
About an hour.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, so you know, I don't want to prolong, but I would say about the sister, I've had a chance to work with her. She's a brilliant mind, creative mind, entrepreneur. Poet. She does poetry, spoken word. She does everything, and she's an HBCU grad. I have to throw that. I have to throw that in there, for all the us HBCU folks who are listening.
All right, you gotta tell me what school though. You gotta tell me what school. I mean,
I'm
I'm gonna let her
her
tell us. I'm gonna let her tell us.
Actually, you gotta read the bio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the bio. You gonna share me the bio?
I did. I put it in the chat. You want me to put it again?
Okay. But you gotta give me the info first so I can be ready. I didn't even know that I was doing that. But you know what? It's all right. All I need is a few seconds. No, it ain't even no bloopers because I stay ready.
Oh, yeah.
Stay ready, buddy.
See, the sisters stay ready. Shout out to
Let me know when you're ready.
Ruby Ali knows what's up. Ruby Ali stays ready too on the check-in. Shout out to Sister Ruby. Yeah, I'm ready. We're ready. I don't want to keep talking. The floor is yours, Sister Marsha. We're ready.
All right. Safiyyah is an artist and creative entrepreneur born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. She is a second-generation Muslim on her father's side and third generation on her mother's side. Alhamdulillah. Growing up, Safiyyah loved going to the masjid, and her mother kept her involved in the community and a number of extracurricular activities, including girl power. Ooh, I want to know a little bit more about that. Muslima cheerleading, wow, okay. Girl Scouts, dance, and the like. Safiyyah's love for the arts was cultivated and encouraged through family and community. Community cultural events were held regularly, and all were encouraged to participate. Safiyyah was a student at Elizabeth City State University for 2 years, where she marched in the band and with Allah's guidance, organized a Muslim student association. She's a boss, y'all. She transferred to North Carolina A&T State University, where she served as MSA president, marched in the band, was active in the television studio theater club, Aggie Toastmasters, and flute choir. I want to know about the Aggie Toastmasters. She received her Bachelor of Science in Journalism, Mass Communication in spring 2016. Previously a radio host and creative director on American Muslim 360, Safiyyah served as a summer camp director for Camp Connections in 2019 and is a student in Imam W.D. Muhammad's graduate level program. She is the author of I Am Eclectic Gem, Spiritual Words in the Form of Poetry, and the founder of an app soon to be released for Muslim artists. So without further ado, let's bring on my sister with all her artistry, Sister Safiyyah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. How are you all?
Doing well. It's so nice to see you. Got that bright smile. Yes, I see you come through, sis. We're going to have fun today. So Bilal, you can start because we do. Well, I was going to say it's customary that we because we read the bios, people get to know you that way. But it's customary that we ask our guests to tell us how they would describe themselves to us. So if you just met me on the street and you were telling me who Safiyyah was, what would you tell me about that sister? That's for you, Safiyyah.
Oh, that's for me. I thought that was getting comfortable, changing it up over here.
She like, what he gonna say?
Say something nice. Okay. I'm from New Africa. I would tell them that. I would tell them New Africa, New Medina Center City Parkway, Bilal Boulevard, and just tell them about, the beautiful childhood and growing up in this community and the arts and the cultural life. It was really vibrant. And so all praise be to Allah, it stayed with me. It's evolved with me. And I stick close to family and community. And I thank Allah that I'm here. So that's what I would say.
I'm over here snapping it up for you. Beautiful.
Well, Safiyyah, you have a rich history. Third generation, second and third generation Muslim. So you already have a rich history already in this community. Could you talk a little bit about that? Being part of such a rich legacy in the African American Muslim community. How did that help shape you, evolve you?
Coming into my Bilalianness.
Yes, coming into your Bilalianness.
College. Okay, coming from this 5-star foundation that I'm really grateful for, and then going off to college. You mentioned, you read my bio, Sister Marsha. So the first 6 years, I'm in Elizabeth City State University. And I bet y'all like, where's that at? It's in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. It's a beautiful community. It's very small. There's cotton on the way to Walmart. Like I'm really in a live creation. It's not a lot, going on. And so there's not a masjid close by. Like the closest masjid is an hour away, and I don't have a car. But I planned on being Muslim. Like I brought my scarves, I brought my prayer rug, brought my bean pie, and shared it with my friends. So all of these things. That's when I really, really, really started tuning in deeper, tuning into things on YouTube, praying. It's like, wait a minute, I want some Muslim friends. I'm not the only Muslim on campus. So that started getting in at that point in time because I'm at the marching band. I'm traveling on the weekends, and in the middle of a performance, something hit me like, you're not happy here. That hit on that, like I'm doing what I love, and I'm like, why I'm being ungrateful, and I tried to shut it out, and Allah kept on putting it on my heart, like, no, there's more that needs to be done here. It's not just about this halal turn up, it's not just about this performance, it's not just about keeping your grades up. There's some other things that need to be done while you're here.
Would you say that was like a not necessarily a cultural shock, but a cultural shift that played along as well as you coming to your consciousness?
It was a spiritual shift because I was like, it was like a spiritual famine. We had just got out of Ramadan. That's what it was. We had just got out of Ramadan. I'm on this spiritual high, and then there's no Muslims around you, and you're not giving anybody the greetings anymore. Like no more bean pie, no more Muslim journal, and that bothered me. That's what it was. So yes, it was a shift.
So I'm interested to know, right? So we introduced you as an artist. So I want you to tell us a little bit more about your artistry. But in doing so, I also am interested to know, like, performing in your artistry, right? Being in that space and being on a college campus, how you were able to do that and feel confident in that, because we have a lot of young people and a lot of people in general who look at especially Muslim women and are just kind of like, I would do that, I would be Muslim, but they can't do this, they can't do that. It's so much restriction. So talk to us a little bit about like your experience with artistry, what your artistry is first, and then your experience being able to maintain your Islam with your artistry.
Those seeds were planted when I was young. I would say like my first fashion show was in the community. So it was maintained there, singing in front of people that was in the community, poetry, writing. So all of those seeds were planted there and getting comfortable just in front of people who were like family. And then going off to college, high school, I'm in the marching band and it's performance. These are people like my family. We practice from this time to this time. You see us in early morning looking crazy. We perform together, travel. So just that comfort of being around people that you know on a regular basis. And then in terms of being Muslim, it was always like, this is your lifestyle. We didn't break it up. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, this is over here, this is over there. Like, you want to be an artist? You have to be something pleasing to Allah. Like, it was already mixed in the gumbo. So when you moving on, it's like, okay, I got to add this to my gumbo, or I have to be more cognizant of this in my gumbo. And the Muslim cheerleading, that's a key point too, because I wanted to do cheerleading in middle school. All my friends are getting more developed and their clothes are getting like shorter and tighter, and mine are getting looser and longer. And I'm like, dang, like they living their best life and I'm over here being Muslim. I want to be a cheerleader. So we created that halal alternative to have our own Muslim cheerleading, as well as the football team and the basketball team. And I had an amazing time. We were covered. We had on the regular outfit plus a turtleneck underneath, some pants, some khaki pants, and we weren't shaking, gyrating, patty caking, but I had an amazing time. And so just giving us the halal alternatives and allowing us to have that fun and building that love for it really made a difference, because the arts are, that's a part of the reason why I'm grateful that I'm here. I don't know what I would be. I would have like, we're not gonna go that route. We fasting, but I'm grateful that I had the nurturing that I had, the encouragement. Like, be creative. Don't just like no. Go where Allah wants you to go. If that's the creative route, go for it. I'm not gonna tell you to major in this and major in that. If Allah wants you to do something else, I may say something, but we're gonna support. You're gonna go into communications. It's a wide range over there. Like, I have had criminal justice for a hot minute, and it didn't sit with my spirit. Like, my spirit was like, ill. But I know that it's important. I respect it, but that's just not where Allah wants me to go. So go where the color is and keep your art and do your dance, but just do it in a way that's pleasing to your Lord.
And you bring up a good point too about being creative. I think a lot of times, I think about my daughter. So I have teenage daughters, 14 and 16, and I have a younger daughter as well. But mostly I'm thinking about my teenage daughters. Like, sometimes
Can you stop right there? You said 14 and 16. I'm looking at you. I don't know your age. Right, go ahead.
Girl, they about to be 15 and 17 in a couple of weeks. And 10. But I think about them a lot in terms of like what's available for them in the community. And you mentioned creativity, and I'm always inspiring them to be creative, because a lot of times we feel like we need to succumb to what already exists. But
right.
It's so much more in being able to be creative and to make that thing succumb to what you are a part of, right? We talk in the Quran or in Islam, we say that we make our jinns Muslim. So I mean, you make everything Muslim, right? You make everything around you Muslim. Yeah. So I don't feel like that gets a lot of highlights. So I was glad that you mentioned the creativity, because we can change just about anything, right?
I mean,
when you mentioned about the Bilal gumbo, that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it the Bilal gumbo, which I think does exist somewhere. It has to exist somewhere down the NOLA somewhere. But anyway, that's off topic. But the Bilal gumbo. So you mentioned about this Bilal gumbo, being creative. Being who you are, stepping out and being who you are. I want to go back just a little bit. I know Sister Marsha brought us to this point, but let's also like go zigzag. On this show, we do a lot of zigzagging, if you would. So we never go in order, which is fine. It works out perfectly in the end. You'll see. Your transition from Elizabeth City to North Carolina A&T. When I first met you, you was already at North Carolina A&T. Right. When I met you and your brother Carl. At that point, where were you at that point when you made the transition from Elizabeth City State to North Carolina A&T in terms of your thinking, in terms of your growth spiritually? Where were you at? What mindset were you in at that point when you got to North Carolina A&T?
That's an excellent question. Elizabeth City State University really, Allah cultivates us, period, but he was really cultivating me in this smaller environment. Get closer to your Lord. Your clothes are modest. Like, it's a totally different thinking that I had coming out of Elizabeth City versus going in. Like, I came in with the mindset, I plan on being Muslim. I got all this physical stuff, but leaving, I had, the inner things as well on a different level. So going into North Carolina A&T, I'm rapping differently. I'm just fully into being who I am. And so on the first day of band camp, or when I first met everybody, or I stepped into the office, my section leader was like, okay, this is who she is, and she's not taking this off. And the way she said it was like, I was like, can she talk to them like that? But everything was good, and it was just understood. This is me. Just a different level of comfort. And then also with the end of Elizabeth City, I felt like having that Muslim Student Association was a necessity. I'm like, okay, it's here. This is, before I leave, this has to happen. Like, this is my salam out type of thing. I can't leave here till this is done. And then when Allah shows me that you're done here, you graduate to something else. And so it was like a graduation to a bigger space to do the same thing. Because the MSA at North Carolina A&T, they were struggling and striving for a minute. And all praise be to Allah, we found each other and we made some things happen.
Exactly. That's when I first met you because we had come up to attend the HBCU MSA conference, coalition conference that we were having at Howard
At Howard.
University.
Right.
Yeah, you and your brother.
Where y'all was at?
Howard.
Okay, Howard.
We were at Howard,
HBCU
sister.
love. Just
HBCU love
across the
all
board.
across the board, sister. All across the board.
Sometimes when I hear that Howard, it just like I just snap into attention.
So Marsha is at attention now because we were at the Mecca, as they say, the Mecca of the HBCUs. We were at the Mecca. And, that's where I first met Safiyyah, her beautiful spirit, along with also our brother who has a beautiful spirit as well. And they had traveled with a couple other students up from North Carolina A&T. They made the travel. They said, we're coming up here. They had, I think y'all drove the first time.
That was year 2. Year 1, we were sponsored by Sister Naima Kabir, her organization.
Yes.
She was like, this is what we do. I was like, we want to go. We need the money. And she's like, it's handled. So year 2, we drove up and brought more because we said we were going to bring some more people.
Absolutely. And I just like to, before we move on in this story, I think this is a crucial part of the story, how crucial having Muslim student associations be an extension of the masjid, because you express it being at Elizabeth City State, you weren't near the masjid, and I'm not sure how far the masjid is from Greensboro either when you were at A&T.
Oh, 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes. So yeah. So you had a more of a, that was a double block.
Walmart and there's a masjid. You can pray.
See that, but to be honest, most people didn't have that. So when I went to, like, most colleges, they barely even had a prayer space, for the Muslims.
Right.
So where I'm getting at is, could you talk a little bit, just a tad bit more, on the importance of how that Muslim Student Association experience helped you and helped your peers? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, that's one of the first things I looked for when I went to Lincoln was, where is the prayer space? Where are the Muslims? I know I can't be the only one out here. So I'm saying, come to find out, like, you can speak to it too. Come to find out, Howard and others, we had an active. Well, Lincoln had an active MSA, but it kind of died when I got there. It was already dead. I'm saying, so I had to help revitalize. I'm not sure if, Safiyyah, that was the case at A&T as well, but I know for me it was the case. And they had no records of the MSA going back to the 90s. After the early 2000s, that was it. There was no records in Stu and Ife. So it's like, how important is the MSA for young Muslims leaving their home, especially for us leaving our home for the first time, leaving New York, leaving Philly, leaving these Muslim towns and Muslim cities with masajids and stuff like that, leaving these places to go live somewhere else for a whole year and come back maybe for the holidays or what, in the breaks, but you're gone. Now there's no more mommy and daddy telling you to get up for prayer if you were having them wake you up for prayer. And there's no more of that. No more imam, unless you had a chaplain or anything like that at school. But there's no more of that connection. So, talk to us about that experience. How is this so important?
It's vital, because you don't want to go to school and graduate only with your degree. Like, that's beautiful, but you also want to graduate in your soul. And it's a vital key thing. And if you want to do that, there's certain people that you have to center yourself around, whether they're great at being Muslim, they're successful at being a Muslim, as well as being around successful Christians, like God-fearing people in general. That's the goal. So Elizabeth City, what happened there, like, it came together on Praise Be to Allah, but it was like too easy. It's like, okay, Allah, that was too easy. What's going on? And then we get to A&T, it was like everything was I'm like, okay, everything's a hurdle. Like, I'm done with running track, but everything is a hurdle. And the main thing I would say was the paperwork. Okay, like, we have the people who want to do it. We have the people who were like committed, somewhat committed. We on a spectrum. And the paperwork was a big deal. But another thing, being at the HBCU and you're Muslim, we're African American. You expect an African American to be leading. Like, don't you? Like, if you just, you're not in your head. Yeah, that wasn't the case at first. And may Allah continue to bless the person who was, in head, but he was a non-traditional student and of a different cultural background, and it was just he wanted a Saudi student association. That was heavily on his heart. And my dear friend put it on his mind and say, no, we're going to have a Muslim Student Association. So it came to a point where just nothing was happening, and I talked to her, and she shared what was going on, and I shared that, inshallah, I don't mind stepping up to do it. And that was junior year, just getting here. So I'm learning the campus, I'm in the marching band, but I'm also trying to do MSA stuff. And it just wasn't working. It wasn't balanced. Like, you're scattered. You're trying to learn this music and you go into a meeting. You come back, you got to learn 3 songs, and like, we still don't have a prayer room. So there's certain things like, okay, we want a prayer space. As basic as that. We want a prayer space. We want to have Juma on campus. We want to have our events. So first, finding the people who want to do those things. Do we already have those things established? And how long will it take for us to get what we need to be a full established organization? So that was like junior year into like maybe senior year, but it came to a point, it was like, okay, we're fully established. We don't have to be low key anymore. We don't have to do these things on a small scale. We can share with the whole campus community that we have this event. And I learned in the planning portion, know what else is going on in the community. I don't want to plan an MSA event on the same day as a fashion show. Because, I want to go to a fashion show too. I may want to be in the fashion show. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing that, just giving a balance. So, and knowing the way our community thinks. Certain people are not going to put a fashion show over an interfaith panel, but they still would love to go. So Tuesdays and Thursdays may be great for that, but a Friday is not. A Monday is not good for an event, and just really knowing what your campus wants and needs, as well as people who are non-Muslim. It's okay for them. I'm not going to put Arabic on a flyer because nobody knows what that says. We're at HBCU. Just being cognizant. So it was vital for me to hold on to Al-Islam, as well as meet other people like me. I met a sister. She was in my dorm like the whole year. Didn't know it until like later on. Because she didn't put it in her bio. She didn't put A&T in her Instagram bio. We became fast friends. She brought me a bean pie. The bean pie was good, and we just became friends from that point, period.
So I keep talking about this bean pie, man. Y'all keep talking about this bean pie. Which bean pie y'all mess with down there, man? Because we got the exclusive up here, man. With this
sister, this isn't the one that I grew up on. The one that I grew up on, I've been eating that for 27 years. Like, I'm sure.
Which one is that? Okay. Quick bean pie talk. Which one did you grow up with for 27 years? What name is that?
The one that I grew up with for 27 years, Sister Yasmin's bean pie. That's the one I grew up with 20 plus years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
that's
then
when I was bringing to campus for other people. We be having our little. I gotta cut the slice real small so everybody get a little slice.
Yes, because you be in school. Listen, everybody broke. Like, yeah, that's right.
Well, you need a slice of the new freedom pie. Have you heard?
And you're gonna say this right when we can't even eat right now.
I know, Bilal, the setup is real.
No, we're gonna get you a slice of the freedom. Dean will get you the slice of the freedom.
That. You're gonna ship
we'll
it.
Get you. Yeah,
straight bidda act. Straight bidda, man.
Bidda act. What are you talking
about? Not alive.
Yo, new freedom. Don't worry, Sophie. We got you. Don't worry.
I appreciate it.
Quick bean pie interruption.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll get it for Eid, right, Dean? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I had a question in regards to in light of the bidda conversation we got going on. You mentioned about the individual who want to make MSA, cater to one culture over another, as far as their upbringing. I guess coming from our community and the dynamics that the Imam shared with us, can you also share like other strategies or other things that you've been, I guess, because that was a test, right? And obviously you were prepared for the test, you stepped up past the test, right? Can you also mention other things that growing up in our community prepared you for when you were on the campus, whether it be, as you also mentioned, something about being aware of the Christian leaders or Christian events, because that's something that every Muslim is not really cognizant of. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes. I'm so grateful for Imam Warith D, Mohammed, leadership and language. May Allah be pleased with him, first and foremost. It's a blessing, and it's a unifying language. It's a unifying language. So being on this campus with beautiful believers from all parts of the globe, we're coming with this spirit of balance. Like, you're not better than me. I'm not better than you. I love you for the sake of Allah. I have my clothes. You have your clothes. I have my food. You have your food. But when it's time for iftar, I'm eating everybody's food. We're here for it. Putting that in terms of leadership on a campus, just coming with a humble, beautiful spirit and just making it known that we are not here for any BS. You can get out. Like, we're not here for that. I love you for the sake of Allah, but we're not here for it. And just setting the tone for you can be you, but don't step on anybody's toes, regardless of what kind of method they're coming from, regardless of where they went, like they do this or they don't do that, they have their understanding. May Allah continue to guide all of us and me. And just really we're not warm and fuzzy when it comes to setting the tone. Just put it like that. And holding on to our language. We're not trying to be anybody else. Like, that's important too, because if I go to a masjid and it has like our community flag on it, I want to hear our language. And if I don't hear our language, instead of being enthused after the cookbook, I'm about to be sad. I'm like, this isn't. They've adapted somebody else to something else, and that's not what this needs to be. So keeping our spirit and being able to articulate our differences, but just knowing that, we're all Muslim. One brother in particular, and Deen, thank you for asking this question. One brother in particular, he went to North Carolina A&T. He's an Aggie just like us, but of course he's not African American. And he shared with me, he's like, I feel more comfortable culturally at this other school that's close by. Greensboro is a college town. And, I get that. I respect that. But I'm like, okay, you're an Aggie. I need you to act up and be an Aggie just like everyone else. So he calls me, let's say it's around Maghrib, or it's late that evening, about a speaking opportunity. And I'm thinking, brother, like, at the time, I'm like the queen of procrastination. I have X amount of days before I graduate. I'm like, please don't call me about no last minute talk. And he's like, okay, you can do the Islamic portion, and I'm going to talk about the cultural stuff. And I'm like, no, brother, you're going to speak, and inshallah, you're going to be great. He's like, no, but you're an English speaker. I said, you're going to do great. I'll be there, inshallah, to eat the free food, to answer questions, to support. But you're just as Aggie as I am, and you have to get comfortable within this community. This is still your community, regardless if you're African American or not. You're paying that tuition. So your Muslimness, that overrides your culture. It elevates your culture, but it overrides it. And he was like, okay, so what should I speak on in terms of the conversation? I said, I want you to highlight that Al-Islam elevates cultural life, and you can be of any ethnicity and be a Muslim, and you're a valid Muslim. So at the end of that, they were thinking I'm Arab. I'm like, ya Allah, I'm not Arab. I love y'all. I'm African American. I'm like, somebody missed the talk. Somebody wasn't listening. But there was some people, alhamdulillah, I'm sure they got it.
Tell me what Aggie is, girl.
That's
I'm like,
our mascot.
Oh,
Marsha,
I was like, what is she talking
Aggie,
about? I was like,
Aggie, hold on, Marsha.
Girl, that's why I had to. That's why I had to. That's why I had to.
Hold on.
Listen,
I got
I had
something
to
for
get
that.
my education. I had to get my education. That's why I had to ask the sister.
Hold on. We hold on. We we can't.
You gonna try to play me, B?
We can't.
We don't play you. We fast.
Okay.
See, thank you, sis. He tried to come for me.
I'll withdraw, man.
We got 2 sisters and 2 brothers. It's balanced. Look at that.
Oh.
See, look at God.
Won't he do it? How about
Won't he do it?
Oh man.
He tried to come for me. I'm like, I just need to know what she's talking about. Okay, I'm good. I'm on track now. See how that worked out? Yeah, I'm straight. I'm straight, sis. I'm all the way straight. Yes, but I just wanted to it's just good to hear you talk about your experience on a college campus, being Muslim. For so many, the perception is that like when you get to college, you're gonna be buck wild and go crazy and all of that stuff. And so just to know, just to hear these stories. And I'm sure that it wasn't like smooth sailing and easy the whole way through, but just to hear you recall these moments of being on a college campus and maintaining your Islam, it's just a beautiful thing. When I went to Howard, I wasn't Muslim, so like I know what I saw that was not Islam. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just beautiful to know that you can maintain that Islam there on the college campus, despite what society will tell you is supposed to happen when you get to college. I have a daughter who is a junior in high school. And so, I would just love, for her to get to school and be able to maintain it all and to, have a story such as yours. So I'm just glad that we're able to talk about this and highlight this right now, because the perception outside of, this circle right here is a different thing for so many. And it's important for us to highlight the fact that it is key to have a vital support on the campus. We are sending our young people out from our masjids, out from our homes, out from our communities, and expecting them to swim with no support. Like, that ain't cool. I mean, and you're gonna have so many that sort of hit or miss. People are gonna hit or miss with the support, but without the support, I can just imagine that hit or miss is that much more a miss for some people. Yeah.
I wanna bring up, you
Sure.
really made me think about something, Sister Marsha, when you were sharing that, and thank you for sharing that. And what came to mind was that Allah will check you. Like, if you feel like you kind of sort of inching, like, Allah will check you, and He'll check you in the most beautiful ways, in the ways that you get it. It's like, okay, Allah doesn't have to strike you with lightning, literally or figuratively, but He will shut you down. Like, if you want to go somewhere, you have no business going there. You're gonna come on your cycle. Your friend's car is gonna break down. You don't have any gas money. Nobody, like, it's gonna pour down rain. It's like, okay, like, you still wanna go after all of these hurdles you about to hop? It's like, dang, you making it. Allah is trying to shut you down. Be shut down. Watch Netflix and a movie. Do the Lifetime movie. Order some pizza with yourself. Okay, it's fine to be with yourself sometimes. Like, and that's a fear. That can be a fear for some people, but it's okay. It's good. Enjoy it. And on the other end, with the social, we were planning to do something good. One sister I met in summer school, we planning to have like a nonprofit and a YouTube channel. That's something good, right? Allah shut that down. He was showing me, he was like, this does not need to be your friend. So I'm walking to my dorm, like, the day is over, it's sunny outside, and I get a text from her like, hey sis, we need to link up, and da-da-da-da-da. And as soon as I see who it is, it's like lightning, thunder, and I'm like, yeah, like, I don't have an umbrella. Like, I'm natural, but I still don't want to get rained on. I get inside and it just pours down rain. So I'm like, sis, we're gonna take a rain check, literally. So every time this person reaches out to me, it's a storm. And Allah showed me later on, like, she was going through some personal storms that He didn't want me to be anywhere near because I was focusing on MSA. So Allah will shield you for real, for real, for real.
Nice. Yeah, I enjoy this conversation. So I want to know too. I want to know a little bit too about like the fun, on campus, right? Because you talk about you talk about the marching band, you talk about you talked about, I think, the something with the flute or something I read, right? But you talk about right, the flute choir, like where you're on a college campus, you're on a Black college campus. Like, we already know that's the turn up. So I just want to hear about like some of the fun times and that experience, and for those who are watching to know that exists too, and you maintain your Islam.
Absolutely. I encourage people to go all out. Like, it depends on your personality. Like, some people are shy. That's fine. But you can't be shy all 4 years. And me personally, I was not at a point where, like, first freshman and sophomore, I would not do an open mic night. Like, I would have people like, oh, you're gonna, I'm like, how do you know I do poetry? Like, people can just look at you and tell you do poetry. I wasn't ready. That wasn't my season, but I would sit in the front row, like, I'm getting real close to the stage, but I'm not on the stage yet. So Allah guides you and you get more comfortable. You just put yourself out in the right situation. But it was amazing. Honestly, it was amazing. Marching band, I love performing. The difference is you're with like 100+ people performing. Now, if it's poetry, if it's a fashion show, if it's something else, it's you and your Lord. Like, you just pray that everything looks right. And if you mess up, you keep going, because that's between you and your Lord too. Keep going. But yeah, just have a great disposition. Pray before you get on stage. That makes the whole difference. Like, alhamdulillah, we did that here with you all. Like, we made dua. And so I feel good about that. I can have the right spirit, because I know for marching band, we performed at the Georgia Dome. That's where Drumline. There's some scenes in Drumline were shot there. So it's a big Georgia Dome. And I'm like, wow, these people want to see us. Yeah, a lot. It was amazing. But I felt like that entire day we were rushed. And so I'm like, okay, I got Dora and Asa to make. It's all these different bands. And I'm like, okay, I need to make my rock outs. We pray together before performance, but I need to make my special prayer. And so once I was able to do that, the heebie-jeebies and the butterflies were gone. And I can get in the mindset. We can talk junk and get hype and just have an amazing time as we're supposed to do. And whatever happens out here, it happens. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. You just have a good time. So if I were to sum up my college experience, it was a blessing and a challenge. And Allah is with you. You can turn to Allah always and forever. And just be who you are. Be really comfortable about being who you are, because nobody else is paying for your tuition. You don't have to worry about what they think, because they're not paying for your tuition.
That's cool. That's cool. No, I love it. I mean, I'm gonna ask you 1,000 questions unless they jump in. They already know. So
Well, no, I mean, this conversation is juicy, man. You know how I roll, man. I know it's almost iftar, but the conversation is juicy, so we'll keep it flowing for a few more minutes. But I think now we want to shift into the latter portion of the bio that we were reading. I know some things caught some attention of Sister Marsha. I'm sure that she has questions on that. But I would just like to post after North Carolina T. Let's go down. We're done with college. You're back in the community. You're back home. You're back at home. You're basically home now. You're back in the masjid. You're back in the community. So, what is your perspective now? Now, since you've been home from college, you've been settled in. You have volunteered in the community, worked with me and on the Muslim Journal Strategy team. What is your perspective now, since you have had that experience? What is your perspective now in the community in terms of how you see things now?
I love our community. Growing up, all praise be to Allah, that was 5-star foundation. Coming back after college, that was a hard shift. Like, I need somebody to write a book about that. That's a hard shift, because you're used to being around people. Like, growing up, we're all in the masjid, regardless if you're going to stay Muslim for yourself or because your parents are bringing you here. Now, coming back home, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that. People either move away. Everybody's on their individual journey. And so you've chosen this for yourself. And I had a shift where I went to a sister's retreat. And all praise be to Allah, it was amazing. But I thought one of my peers was going to join me. And so last minute, she canceled and said she couldn't come to the sister's retreat. And so I'm like, okay, I'm still going to have a good time. I made the intention to have an amazing time, regardless if she's able to come or not, because community life isn't just about me having my 20-year-old something friends. It's about the full picture of our establishment. And so I had a great halal turn up with sisters ranging from 19 to 95. We had an amazing time. I spent time with my grandma. My grandma was my roommate at the event. Alhamdulillah, we got to bond. It was a great thing. And I stayed up too late thinking that, I can sleep in, because we make Fajr prayer. And then they have a halakha, and I wasn't ready for that because I stayed up the night before. But anywho, things of that nature really, really helped shift my spirit. And for a few years, that was fine. But now getting into the pandemic, in terms of, I graded my social life, and I said, oh my gosh, you know, about academic probation, there's also, you know, I made up social probation. I said I need to get off of social probation. I want to connect with like hearts and minds, and I want a healthy social life. We love our pioneers and our seasoned citizens, but we want a healthy social life. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me to meet some other like minds through events and things of that nature. And one sister in particular, I met Jada, Sister Jada Ahmed. And I see Jada on Instagram doing her halal sipping paint. Sound like a sis. Alhamdulillah, my sis speaking truth.
Shout out to Sister Jada.
That's my sister Jada. And I saw her on this event, and I'm like, she's New African. She's Bilal, and I just knew it. That colorful kimar, I just like, sis, she's from our community, and I love that. And so with the halal sipping paint, I've been wanting to do one for forever. She's been wanting to do one for forever. And she was like, let's work together. And I'm like, oh my goodness, 1 + 1 is 2. Let's do it. Inshallah, we will be hosting one in June 18th, 7:30 p.m., a virtual, but it's not, and again, like asking, what age is this for? This is whoever is tech savvy and can tune into Zoom and has all the things they need, but it's ultimately a virtual family night, halal painting and sipping, and just having a good time. But we're not only going to be painting and sipping, we're going to be having some poetry. Again, we're not shy anymore. Some poetry and some other things, inshallah.
Oh, that's important. I mean, I think that's important that we fellowship amongst each other as much as we can as a group, as a community. And you know, you mentioned something crucial. I think that I think that's part of the growing pains of a jamaat or a community in general. Growing pains of a group is that sometimes you don't have all the screws tight. Sometimes the screws are a little loose, and you gotta tighten the screws up. With the screwdriver. You know what I mean? Gotta tighten them up, or you may have to replace them because they're a little rusty. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the rusty screws. But my point, I think my analogy is leading up to when you say when you got home from college. I know when I got home from college, nobody was expecting. I was expecting a red carpet to be rolled out for me, but in that regard, saying, people throwing roses at my feet or something like that. But I was, I was, I think like when you come home is like, I don't know, it's like it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a different perspective on things now. A different perspective on things, and things are not the same, because we're older now and we see things a little different. When I came home, I saw the community as it was. Before I left, it was Claire Mohammed, Queens. You know what I'm saying? That I knew nothing. I for everything I know everything. The community is all I know. That's all I knew. You know what I'm saying? Up until when I went to college, that was different. So I have a whole nother group or cohort of friends. You know what I'm saying? That know, most of them know that I'm a practicing Muslim, right? You know what I'm saying? But when I came home, it was like now the community is in a different phase now. It's a different phase, it's a different position. And it's just like, I was like, wow, man, this is like, it's much work to be done. You know what I'm saying? And like, I didn't feel the support. I didn't feel like the mentorship piece. How we have mentors in life, different stages of development. You want to have mentors. I didn't feel like that was there. You know what I'm saying? For me personally, I mean, my father was my father, but he was also my mentor as well. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, outside of those things, you're kind of looking for other mentors in the community, but you don't see you see the older folks, but it's like, the older
that
folks
in between.
Yeah, you're kind of in between the crust. As not a seasoned professional, you're getting your feet wet. These brothers and sisters already got their feet wet. They're probably like 20, 30, 40, 50 years in the game in terms of their profession, or in fact retired from their profession, but you have no guidance. It's like there's no system. That's what I'm saying. There was no system. So like when you come home, you could fall into a mentorship program, or you can hook up with some people. But it's like everyone was so spread out. So everyone's so spread out. You don't know. We don't know what we have in a community. Sometimes we have a lot of gems in our community, man.
Right, we do.
We have a lot
and
of
to your
gems.
point, Bilal, like you were talking about mentorship. That's what you had wanted when you had came back home. Like for me, I wanted to connect to our community on a national level because I was always very involved locally. But I'm thinking like how we operate locally and our spirit and our enthusiasm locally is like that's what we are around the country. And everybody has their unique experience and their unique disposition around the country. So I'm like, okay, I wanna go to the convention. I wanna go and all praise be to Allah. So I went to the different events that I wanted to go to and got to get a different taste of what our community looks like. But I really wanted to connect with different artists. I wanted to see what we look like in the cultural space.
Oh,
what does our music sound like? What does our fashion look like? We're making some movies. I can watch a movie, have a Netflix moment, and it's like Bilal.
Turn up.
So that's what I really wanted, and that's what I was searching for. And I would say that
Did
led me.
Did you find it? Did you find it?
Did I find it?
Yeah. Have you found it?
We are. Let me put it like this. Our community,
she made it.
Still maturing. We're still maturing. Like, we're still in that self-development maturing phase. So there's individuals who are doing great things.
Yes.
And they may be in a certain level in their development. And then, like, as a group, we're maturing. We're new Africans. We're Bilal. Like, Allah put us, pulled us right out of, there's a part in the Quran when he says we can make a new people. Like, we're new. So I have to know that and have a spirit that, again, we're new and we're establishing something that is not just for us, but remaking the world. Like, we're recentering the spirit of what a human being is. And so we don't want to rush and do that. So, inshallah, we're going to take our time and continue to do things. But in terms of the app, that was on my heart for a few years. But if y'all wanted to ask me something else before I get into the app, I'll wait.
Go for the app. Go for the app.
Yeah, go for the app. We'll close out on that.
That was on my heart for a few years. And again, you want to connect with different people who have your heart and your spirit. I went to an art school. And there's certain places where, Allah tells us, like, don't pray here. I was having some trouble praying here. It's like my body was rejecting it, and Allah removed me from that space. It's like nothing in this space wants to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Honey, you need to go. So after I left, it was like everything starts healing. Your skin starts healing. I'm not creatively constipated. It's like, I need not necessarily just Muslim, but I need some people who have like a smidget of God-fearingness, because this ain't it for me. Like, my spirit is sad. I wrote a lot of sad songs there. But anywho, with the app, we're coming together to please our Lord. But we're artists, we're creators, we're enthusiasts. Sister Marsha, if you write a book and you need an illustrator for a children's book, you're going to go into the app and find somebody who's going to apply to it. Right. It's
Marsha's ready.
Right. You go into the app, you need somebody that you connect with. So you're going to meet with them, talk about some things. If y'all don't click, you can keep on looking. If y'all do click, you can get your creative contract, because Islamically, we always got to have our contracts in order. And then go from there. And inshallah, you're going to finish your book and please your Lord and make some money. But making money, that's later. Just pleasing your Lord is the main goal, and making sure you're connecting with somebody with a like heart and mind. Brother Deen, if you have a movie coming out, you want to have your movie release, you're going to put it in the creative event section of the app. And so everybody in the app is going to know about your new movie coming up. Brother Bilal, if you have, let's say you want to have a virtual museum showcase.
We got that ready.
Living room, because
don't
we're
tempt
not
me,
going
sister.
anywhere
That's Bilal's. That's Bilal's thing.
Not at the museum.
Yes, that's Bilal's thing.
Like, hey, this is for such and such money. We're raising money for X, Y, and Z. This is Bilali art. This is some new Freedom Exchange Bilali art right here, and we're selling it for $200. It's for a great cause. May Allah reward you. It's for this price. You're gonna put that event on the app. So inshallah, I will share more when it's time to be released. It was on my heart to release it yesterday, but Allah showed me that this is not the time. Yes. And that you have to slow down. Like during this month, I see a lot of. Go ahead.
You said yesterday?
I wanted to. It was on my heart to do it yesterday, but I'm saying like in terms of planning. Yeah. No, it didn't happen. I would have told y'all. Like that's.
I was like, say, sister, you gotta do the debut. Yeah, we was waiting for the. Yeah.
Like I would not have been like, hey, I dropped it yesterday and I'm coming on the show today. Like that's rude. I would have, do better. Do better. Bringing the days of forgiveness. I hope y'all would have forgiven me. But anywho.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So on my little calendar. I'm a planner person. I got sticky notes behind me. I love that. So I'll put something on my calendar and I'll give myself a goal. And Eli's showing me like I just enjoy this month. Extract everything you can from it. This is not the month of, oh, this is a great marketing moment. No, this is the month where our Holy Quran has started to be revealed. So really focus on that, not dropping a book or no, just so inshallah I'm gonna find peace with that because there were little hurdles popping up, slowing us down. So it couldn't be Thursday anyway. So Allah showed me I'm gonna slow you down. And I'm going to show you that, just dive into your Quran and have some amazing time with that.
Awesome. Yeah, Bilal was excited over there. He was excited over there. You said that museum piece.
I wasn't even thinking about the actual event.
Bilal night at the museum, sister.
I'm like,
that's his thing.
I mean, the sister do got a book in her. And I'm definitely ready for the movie scene. So
you do have a book. I was just
yeah, she got a book in her. She don't want to get it out. It'll come out. But
come on.
They
right now,
me.
I'm gonna do a tribute. I'm gonna do a tribute. Right, this is in honor of the book that's in Marsha, the movie that's in me, and the Bilalian museum that's in Bilal. And this is from Safiyyah called "In My Cocoon." Be right back.
In my cocoon, I reflect within myself, and I invite no one else. In my cocoon, breathing, thinking, wonder, in my lazy little slumber. My cocoon, where I reflect within myself, don't want to invite anyone else, truly content within myself. Breathing, thinking, wonder, alhamdulillah, time to myself to slumber in my cocoon. Then you emerge well-rested into this social butterfly. Smiles and laughter follow you as you grace the room. Just hours before, you were content in your cocoon.
I can't snap my fingers.
I didn't know y'all were gonna do that. Like I didn't.
Come on, sister. Come on.
Come on,
you know us by now, sister.
I didn't know you were gonna. Like, thank you. I was like
surprising.
We go into the grades, sister. We go into the grades here.
Like, this sounds familiar. Like I wasn't ready. So thank you.
No,
I love that. I love that. My daughter is like inspired to do some spoken word. So I'm absolutely gonna let her listen to that as she starts her journey towards that. So thank you for that.
Can I say this? Since you said that, Marsha, she is
Go
invited
for it.
to do a poem for our halal sip and paint if she
so
chooses.
Yeah, let's get
I'm gonna let her know.
So what's your daughter's name, if you don't mind me asking?
Let her
Anissa,
that's my aunt's name. Anissa, you are invited. Of course you're invited, but just to hear it live, like you can definitely get on and do your poetry if you're comfortable with it. I mean, we're all family, and inshallah, we're gonna snap for you, and we're gonna have
absolutely snap for my baby, y'all.
Snap our fingers for the baby. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, yes, we're coming up on time. I hate to let you go, Sister Safiyyah.
I know.
I
want some new freedom pie now. Like we don't talk about it.
Unfortunately, I don't have the new freedom pie, sister. I mean, I'm only the spokesperson for it. I mean,
teasing, Bilal, you're teasing. Come on.
Have it. If I had the gold, I would ship the gold.
That pie is good.
Yeah, the pie is good, but let's not tempt further. But Sister Safiyyah, we look forward to the app. We look forward to seeing the app. We look forward to bringing you back. Sister Jada is in the queue, so we look forward to hearing from her. You're a partner in crime now. Your new partner in crime. You understand what I'm saying?
Partner in creation, Aki. Partner in creation.
There you go.
Elevation. Come on, Aki.
There you go. Set that brother straight.
I like that. We're gonna have to trademark
Set that brother straight.
Yo, man. That's a doozy right there. Partner in creation. That's good. That's good. I like that. Yeah. So I think we want to. You sisters are hardworking, and we definitely want to. This platform is open to you all as the hardworking sisters you are. We appreciate you all. We appreciate you taking time out to be with us on this wonderful Friday evening, and may Allah reward you immensely for your efforts, and we want you to be successful, because if you're successful, we are all successful. The demand is successful. We're all successful as a family, as a community, man. There's no big eyes. There's no, what is it called? No big eyes, no little U's. I don't know what that's thing be going. Anyway, I'll just be funny. Now, yeah. So closing remarks, Sister Safiyyah. We'll let you go rock out first with your closing remark.
Thank you so much for this lovely invitation. Thank you all for sharing laughs, serious questions, not so serious questions. Sister Marsha, thank you for that Kimar. Like, I'm not going to take it from you since it's Ramadan. Like, I was going to send you my shipping address. I do that to people. Because I gave my sister a compliment one Ramadan on her scarf, and she gave me, like, a scarf. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. You can keep that one, inshallah. But the next one, I'm going to have to send you.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that is absolutely fine. I got you.
Thank you. Alhamdulillah. So I pray that you all stay well, stay safe. And the spirit that we have on this episode, I pray that we continue to have a great attitude and disposition throughout. Because this is the first 10 days. We have a few more to go. And like, I get sad at the end of Ramadan. I do. And I get really excited about Eid. And I get so hyped. But then I get too tired to celebrate sometimes. And I miss all the food at the masjid because we kind of want to start on time when it's Eid. So, yes, inshallah, I will see you all again. And you all just stay healthy and have a great iftar, like whether you cooked or not. Like, I have some leftover greatness that I'm going to enjoy in a few. And yeah.
So my closing remarks are that you are super dope. You are super fly. I love, love, love your spirit. So alhamdulillah for Safiyyah and all that she is. And I just wish all the best for you. I pray all the best for you. I'm not even wishing. I'm praying to Allah all the best for you and everything that you have that is going to be birthed from you. You mentioned Sister Jada and your partnership. So everything that is even birthed from the partnership that you all have. Make sure you share the flyer with us for the Sipping Pain so that we can broadcast that thing and make it 1,000,000 times bigger than what you thought it was going to be. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
My closing remarks, I was going to say something in reference to one of the questions earlier, but I would rather have you share as you introduce yourself, or as you opened up. You mentioned you had a little rap thing going on. You said about New Africa Boulevard, that whole thing right there. So can you just, from your perspective, just share what is New Africa, right? Because as I saw the questioner ask that question, some people ask it. I'm not questioning their intent for asking it, but I know some people ask it in the sense of like trying to play it down as if it's something that's artificial, right? And the Imam, he gave us so much insight on what New Africa is. And one thing that just came to my mind when I saw that is that New Africa is wherever we can establish our community life. That's New Africa, right? Because in historical perspectives, like when people travel different places with their new life, with their new culture, if it's accepted, that becomes that, right? That becomes a place like that. So, but just in your closing, even though it's really my closing, I'm gonna pass it back to you, and then we're gonna close it. Extra talk, and we got another little selection for you. Since you're an eclectic gem, I heard we're gonna play that on our way out. Yeah, we're gonna play that on our way out. Also, Boss Lady with the Kimar, since they was looking for Shadiaki, since we got two sisters on here with the Kimars, holding it down. So, what is New Africa, Bilal and Boulevard, whole nine?
Yes. New Africa is in our heart, mind, and soul. I want you all to picture that beautiful picture in the Muslim Journal where it has like everything painted out, and shout out to that artist, whoever he or she is who painted that painting. New Africa is our full establishment of community life. So inshallah, we are working towards that. But we have to claim that we are New African, and that's a beautiful mindset. That's a beautiful thinking. That's supporting African American owned businesses. That's establishing platforms such as this and supporting it. Being Bilali and coming from that cultural expression. Just knowing who we are, fully owning it, and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us, as well as accepting the blessing in our leadership, Imam Warith D, Mohammed, and not swaying from that, inshallah. Just knowing who we are, being proud, being unapologetic, with all of our colorful kimars, with all of the language that we hear in our brothers' cookbars, just accepting all of our gumbo and releasing whatever we need to release, because we can't take everything with us. Like, New Africa is our paradise prep on earth as well. Like, we can't take certain things to paradise. So inshallah, we're going to clean it up so we can get there.
Amen.
Beautiful. The Bilalian gumbo, the creative gumbo.
It sound like you eating something. You over there eating? You eating something? Tasty.
Aki, come on, cut it out, man.
Yes, don't be breaking without us.
The gumbo, the creative gumbo, the Bilal gumbo. I think this episode was excellent. It was great. Alhamdulillah, we love it. I love all of it. I love all our sisters and brothers. Some doing marvelous work in this community. You know what I'm saying? And I love the spirit that you have, Safiyyah, always did. You know what I'm saying? Since I met you, so I already know you're a hard worker. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna put on for the Jamaat, put on for the community, put on for New Africa Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? All that in the bag of chips and much more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to forego this. It's time to eat. It's time to pray. So while
Bilal got to get that meat. Go ahead, Bilal.
You need that meat now. Y'all, let me tell you something. Bilal don't miss. He need 3 meals a day. I don't know how he's surviving through this fast, y'all. That brother need 3 meals a day or he gonna spaz out.
3 meals a day.
Hungry, like hungry and angry.
I just said 2 meals a day, but alhamdulillah. But anyway, we're going to close out with Eclectic Gem as we ride out. And we're going to close out with Boss Lady Bukima by our beloved Shadiaki and Sister Bashia. And until next time, my dear beloveds, our dear beloved community on here in the Freedom Exchange, we thank you all. We appreciate you all. And as always, have a great day. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great rest of the Ramadan. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do, hold on. Study Al-Islam is tomorrow.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Tomorrow and Sunday. He's going for the double whammy.
And to the end of the month, we keep rolling. We rolling.
Double whammy. Anyway, just wanted to tell again, Sister Fitra, Study Al-Islam program. I'm sorry for the other announcements. I know there's plenty of other announcements. I'm going to do some pre-recordings. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to unleash all the announcements because there's so much to do. And we don't have the time tonight. But anyway, thank you all. Please subscribe. New Freedom Exchange. Like the page. And until next time, peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer.
You are an eclectic gem. Allah put in your soul what you need to win. You are an eclectic gem. Allah put in your soul what you need to win. You are an eclectic gem. Allah is showing you signs again and again. There is nothing ordinary about you. There is nothing ordinary about you. One of a kind. Permission to be amazing granted from the Most High. Permission to get your share and fly. Obligation, obligation, obligation to the Deen. Keep Allah on your journey, a dynamic team. There is nothing ordinary about you. You are an eclectic gem. Allah equips you with everything you need within, and there is nothing ordinary about you.
It's a gummy beat.
Miss Boss Lady with the keyman. Hey, Miss Boss Lady with the keyman. Hey, Miss Boss Lady with the keyman. Hey, Miss Boss Lady get nice. Hey, Miss Boss Lady with the keyman. 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 Miss Boss Lady get nice.
Look through the balls, look at the flaws, dripping and sauce. She making the prayers no matter the cost. No, she ain't putting it on. She repping the Deen, know what I mean, so she ain't never been false. She on the scene, getting that green, so she can never be false. She getting that chick and on to the next.
She said, Allah,
she demand respect, gotta come correct. Sauced up, dripping like ragu. Why she walking down the avenue? If you really wanna bag you, gotta go talk to a abu. Ain't talking to Aladdin, I'm talking to Dad, and no, he ain't having. No pants sagging, no career having. Bum sitting around playing Madden. She ain't playing no games, dealing with lames. Beautiful woman with brains.
I call her Miss Boss Lady with the key, man.
Cause I don't know her name.
Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady can be nice. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady can be nice.
Been a boss, I don't gotta floss. Staying humble cause I was lost. Now I'm rocking my kima. Getting all of them dinar. On my Deen and I go hard. Alhamdulillah, gotta thank God. Elevating and I can't stop. Don't waste my time and you getting blocked. Blast up, I put you on the spot. I be making moves and you talk a lot. Following procedure. Example for me, Khadija. I'm tryna own, not leasing. Stay on my grind, straight beastin'. Black excellence, stay queenin'. I gotta do it. Putting Zawa in albums, I thought you knew it. I'm about my business, I keep it fluent. I slay so effortless, ain't no congruent. Purifying my heart, cause I got affluence.
Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady can be nice. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady can be nice. Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady with the key, man. Miss Boss Lady, Miss Boss Lady. Miss Boss Lady.